West Tigers fans, we are so back. Let's break down the draw and a new jersey. Let's do it. Intro video's not working. Okay. West Tigers fans, welcome in. We're killing it tonight. But I think the streams. No, I think the video is going to play. No, it's not going to play. All right. We are in off-season mode. Look, the audio's good. I think we're live on the internet. It's all working. It is cricket season. So let's go to my special guest, the Hoff. Thank you. It's almost, what are we getting towards midnight now by the time I got this stream working. How are you this evening?
Not bad. Lucky I made a cup of Horlicks. So
Horlicks, I don't even know what that is. Mr. Thompson, how are you this evening?
Yeah, good, mate. Sometimes you need the off season. Everything else that's gone wrong tonight could have possibly gone wrong. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having another episode. Obviously, there's never a quiet off season for the Tigers, is there? We're always in the news. Plus, the draw came out, jerseys, and yeah, whole bunch of stuff.
I feel like it's been pretty quiet considering it's been just a lot of good news stuff. Speaking of good news, Matty G, how are you this evening?
I'm very well. How are you?
You said you could pop on for 15 minutes, and it's 50 minutes past what we're supposed to start recording. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. You were lucky enough to also go along to the jersey launch on when was that? Friday night, last night. That was a good night. How good was that by the West Tigers? Thank you very much to the West Tigers for inviting me as well. I was driving there expecting it to be. I went to a jersey launch in I reckon 2017 or something. And the jersey launch was literally just coming in and the club saying the jerseys were up on the wall. They're like, here's our new jersey. What do you think? That's it. And then, so I was driving to Concord on Friday thinking it's going to be the same. And then go through the Center of Excellence, out through the gym. There's music pumping. Matty G's getting around. He's on the cocktails. There's players are there. There's DJ Richo's there. Benji's there in his sports jacket. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a serious affair. So shouts to the club putting on a pretty cool event on Friday night, Matty.
Yeah, for sure. Super blessed to have been invited. Very grateful for the opportunity. All the opportunities that West Tigers have given me this season. It's been it's been a pretty crazy year for me. But
for sure.
Yeah, shout out especially to the media team, especially Mia. Shout out Mia because she is just absolutely killing it. She organized this event. She's head of digital there. So great speech. Explained the jersey very well, and sort of the vision behind it. She just the whole media team, really what they're doing and how they're connecting with the fan base and bringing people like us in and other content creators or podcasters, and that I think is really cool. And I think they're leading the way in terms of the NRL in that space. So shout out Wes.
Yeah, and just in terms of social media too, just their posts, how good the video, as I think you saw it, the video that they put out. Obviously, some bozos leaked the jersey the week before and took it down not long after, but they put out a video on the morning of the jersey launch saying, "Oh, we know you've seen it." They just reacted so well to it.
Yeah, kind of just took it in their stride, really, and just used it as an opportunity to really hype up what was expected to be a really hyped jersey launch, considering all of the teasers and promos around it. Yeah, I agree about the media team as well, by the way. Absolutely sensational work by the entire team over the last 12 months. There's obviously the Instagram group, or not discussion thingy, but the thing where the chat where we can all get updates from the social media team, and just the whole space and the brand of connecting with the fans has improved massively. And I really
Yep.
did enjoy that little teaser promo they did. We know you've all seen it, but have you seen it? That was just great.
All right, we'll get down to the launch itself. I had everything loaded up in a new program that I was trying to get happening tonight, so I'm a little bit backwards coming forward tonight. But Hop, I'll start with you with the new jerseys. Obviously, Maddie and I are wearing we've got the white version, as you picked up your orange version. Show us your chest there, as. Beautiful. Pepper Money. Good on you, Pepper Money. We'll start with the bad news. Hoff. Not a fan.
Look,
not a fan of the jersey.
I'm not happy. I'm not going to harp on. I've been going on for days. You'd have to be Helen Keller not to have seen or heard my disapproval. I just think they've dropped the ball here. Again, I'm not trying to make it a West v Balmain thing, but I think on this occasion, it does have a little to do with that. I understand 100% why maybe some ex-Magpie fans feel a little bit disgruntled. I don't understand why they just didn't stick with the tried and true method, predominantly black jersey and a predominantly orange jersey and an alternate white jersey. It's just madness. I was really disappointed. Even the orange jersey itself, which is now our home jersey, I think it's a little bit plain. So even if we had a black jersey, I'm still not wrapped in the orange jersey. So yeah, I don't know. I found a black alternate strip. Someone had doctored up AI, and it looked absolutely shit hot. So, again, I'm not going to keep going on about it. It is what it is. I hope we get some sort of black jersey this year. But again, we're going to end up with more jerseys than bloody rounds the way we're going. So, yeah, that's my view.
All right, the Gen Xers, how do you say? Matty G, you're a Magpie background, I believe, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, but I don't buy into
Can you explain to me why Magpies fans are why are Magpies fans annoyed with a white jersey? Make it make sense.
Well, going off Facebook pages, they're annoyed by absolutely everything. It seems, but I think it's time we all just collectively got together and realized we're one club now. And yeah, I mean, I was born in '97, so all I've ever known is West Tigers. So I think it's different for me. But I can understand, obviously, if you grow up supporting one club and then you merge with a rival, and yeah, it's not going to feel great. And I can see why a lot of people haven't got over that yet. But people can forgive.
And I'll just preface by saying that I'm pride myself on not staying out of the whole West Balmain thing.
For sure.
Everyone knows.
Oh yeah, that was correct with you, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a staunch West Tigers. West Tigers are here for life. The Magpies are never coming back. Balmain are never coming back. I just think I'm a fan of black as well. A lot of people think, well, why are you? Why aren't people happy with the white? When you think of West Magpies, you think of black. Anyone that says, white, I think they're kidding themselves. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's how I look at it.
But it just confuses me. I'm significantly older than Maddie, so 88 bought. So I do remember as a kid both sides of the merger and was on the Balmain side. But I'm still trying to get my head around why, because obviously Balmain were black and orange, West were black and white. Both got black, so black was on both. Orange comes from the top from Balmain, white comes from West, and yet West Magpies aren't happy with Why?
I'm
Like,
not
it's just-
saying I'm not saying all Magpie fans aren't happy. You know, there's the older group that, you know, there is some in there that will never be happy about anything, as Maddie sort of mentioned. But you know, well, I'm not one of them. You know, I'm on board with anything. But yeah,
I know.
I just know. I just think when you think Magpies, you know, the color that comes to mind is black. It's not white.
Fair
You know,
enough.
if you have to pick
I
one
love our
color,
black jerseys.
black's the prominent.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. But again,
But-
you know, who knows? We may get one. We may get one in a couple of months or something. Who knows what will happen? Again, it's a jersey. You know, I'm probably a little bit embarrassed where I was carrying on. You know, now I've calmed down. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's move on.
Mr. Bashar, I'll throw him under the bus. He's from the Balmain side as well. He hates the jerseys too. So
Yeah.
I put this in the Discord the other day. I feel like it's us millennials quite like it, and it's the older traditionalists.
That's
who
what I was
don't-
going to say. I think it is a
Yeah,
generational
maybe
thing.
because it's like it's a jersey that this jersey would never have happened in cotton. Like you would never have had cotton that has claw marks. It's a very new age, like flashy sort of. And at the end of the day, I mean, the jerseys are kind of like music. Like you understand, some people like Kiss, for example. I enjoy Kiss. Other people don't enjoy Kiss. It's jerseys and like it's just I don't know. You're entitled to your opinion. I just don't.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around that your previous team pre-merger determines you not liking it. Rob, for example, coming out, it's nothing to do with Balmain. He just hates the design of it, which is if you hate it, you hate it. You can't just make everyone. You can't please everyone. You can't. Everyone likes it. I don't know. I love it. Maybe because I'm a child at heart, and it's I think kids will love this jersey. I said this when to
of
someone at
course.
the do. I think this jersey will be really popular with kids, and the older like people will go, it's not really for me. But I can just see every kid at the game. I mean, kids tend to get them anyway if their parents get it for them. I think it's just one of those jerseys that kids will be really proud to wear. So who really cares? I mean, I'm calling everyone old. I'm nearly 40, so and still wearing a jersey. So, but
Well, the Raw store said today they were selling like hotcakes. They had how many orders? As about 800.
Yeah, about 800. That's what he said.
Or something. So, you know, maybe I'm the idiot. So I don't know. but again,
No.
I'm a fan of black. It's slimming, which also helps.
Yeah, I love black
so-
too. I have so many black jerseys. Look, I'm gonna be honest. This is my 35th jersey or something. Like I'm a sucker for all of them, and I really enjoy. I'm the same. I've put a few kegs on. I quite like the black slimming jersey. I bought the white, so I need to lose a bit of weight for before next season. So the beer gut doesn't.
I don't. Yeah,
stand
I
out.
don't hate the white. You know, I don't think it's one of our better jerseys, but again, you know, I don't know who designed them, but you know, good luck to them. Hopefully, they do better next year.
I actually met the designer. He's a very nice guy, so I'll defend him. And the thing I like about
How
him
old is he? How old is he?
He's young. I think he's in his probably early 30s.
Oh, what a
Oh, there you go.
surprise!
Apologies if I'm wrong.
He probably hates Kiss too, Hoff.
Yeah.
But,
Let's move on anyway.
Yeah, let's
I
talk
like it.
signings. Let's talk signings. Bunny Afala and young Jack Attard have signed. What are your thoughts on this signing? Bunny Afala, obviously, we don't know too much about young Attard, but Bunny Afala has obviously been a stalwart for the Waz for a while. What are your thoughts on these signings?
Yeah, Bunty seems to have a bit of a cult following from some of the Warriors fans, and a lot of them were disappointed to see him go. It was highly publicised that this year was going to be his last year at the Waz as well. So had no idea he was coming to us. It was a signing that kind of came out of nowhere. Great for forward depth. Probably not an ideal starting forward, but could do some very good work off the bench as one of those back fence sort of merchant players you want to have in the team now. I think we'll get some good runs off him. It's the main thing for me is he's another player who can take the pressure off of Terrell May and make sure Terrell's not forced to play 65 plus 70 plus whatever minutes a game, which would help his longevity throughout the season. And I think, it's another addition to of experienced player as well to help some of our younger forwards coming through.
Maddie, do you know much about young Jack at all?
No, not a whole heap. All I do know is that he's come up through, obviously, the Penrith system. He's I've been told, it was one of my mates when he first signed, messaged me and said that he used to, I think, play against him and that he's an absolute weapon. So yeah, great signing. It's good to have that, a bit of extra depth, especially in that role. And yeah, you never know what's going to happen during the season. So it's good to have that backup.
It's always funny when people say, "Oh yeah, I used to play against them when they were a gun." It's like, if you're in the NRL, they've been like, if you make it to that level, you've dominated every single comp you've ever played. You could be, whether you're Jerome Luai or Alex Seyfarth or whatever, you've been the best of each comp. You're the star kid coming through, the best in your rep team coming through. It's always funny when people say, "Oh, he was a gun." Yeah, they were all NRL players were guns. I played against Tim Moulton, and it's like, yeah, Tim Moulton was pretty freaking awesome too. But yeah, he felt like a State of Origin player playing against us when I was a kid. But it's always funny when people say
the difference is, though, with Penrith, there's a lot of guns.
It's a good pool. It's a lot of guns. Yeah, it's
even harder to stand out in Penrith comp.
It's like an American high school. It's full of guns. Hoff, any?
Oh, jeez,
that's dark.
I love a bit of dark humor. It's
not in the off season at all, are you, Josh?
You can't get cancelled in the off season. Hoff, any opinions on these signings?
Yeah, look, Adard, I don't know much about him, but look, Penrith has the largest junior comp. They can't hold on to everyone, so hopefully, their loss is our gain. We've lost a lot of great juniors to other clubs, so always happy for the reciprocation. I've been a massive fan of Bunty Afoa for years and years. If we can get him fit, he could be huge for us. Take a bit of that pressure off Terrell May. But fitness is a key. We don't want another Royce Hunt situation.
You saw a picture of Royce. Speaking of Royce, did you see a picture of him training today? He's looking fit as. So a few of the boys returned today at training as well. So Royce's looking really good for next year. Looks like he's really got on that stationary bike pretty hard of late. So there's a comment here from Tom Smith. He was at the Bathurst 1000 when he found out about the signing. How good? Side note, give me 10 seconds just to say this. Did you boys watch Bathurst this year?
A little bit of it.
Like
it was
the
like the greatest. Laps. That's probably all you need to watch, really. But it was one of the greatest races of all time. I'm just going to say that. It was so good. I won't mention any basketball tonight, guys. I promise. Even though my team's coming doing quite well this year. Maybe some American football. Do you want to talk American football? How are your Bengals doing?
Yeah, screw that.
That's all right. We all can't be 10-2. That's okay. All right, let's move on to Dream Buller. All right, there's a rumor going around that Dream Buller has extended. Matty G, you got your ear to the ground pretty well. Any news on the Buller situation from you?
The last I heard was from Shane Richardson himself at the jersey launch when I asked him, how's the Buller situation going? And he said it's still going. And that's all he gave me.
Okay.
So I don't know. Look, I've seen a lot of reports. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire. They also reported last week that they're looking at that, they were close to agreeing on rather than activating the 2027 option to do a whole new contract and extension. So I did see that reported by a couple of journalists. So look, it's looking positive. Certainly looking a lot better than it was, a couple of weeks ago. So I think we'll get the deal done.
Hoff, what are your thoughts on the Buller situation?
I was never sold that he was going to go. So him resigning or the massive rumors, again, there were just that rumours. He loves the club. It would have been massive loss, a huge loss, had he have gone or not, wanted to re-sign. But again, I believe he's staying. And yeah, next story.
Next story. Okay, righto. What are you, the host? I haven't got Az's opinion yet. Look, I really hope he stays. And just seeing some comments from people saying, "Oh, whatever, we'll find someone else." It's like,
No.
mate, like if you watch the West Tigers play the last few years, he's been our best player, probably at least like our top 3 best players in every single game that he's played. Injuries, the only argument I really hear is like, oh yeah, he's got quite a few bit of injury history happening, but we are a completely different team when he plays, and pulling a fullback like him, like there's not many around. He's 23 years old, and everyone's like, oh, he's not worth 900k. He's 23. He's only going to get better. His peak's still 3, 4, maybe 5 years away. Like he's entering his prime now. Lock him in. We got to have Dream Buller at the West Side. If we lose Dream Buller, it's a massive step backwards. As anything to put a pin on the Buller sitch?
No, you pretty much summed up my thoughts there as well. Definitely one of our best players when he's on the field. I do understand the argument of the injury side of things, but I 100% agree that when he plays, we're a way better team, and he's shown that in so many games. Some of our most iconic tries of the last few years are the ones where he's nowhere to be found, runs into the screen off a kick chase, just plucks the ball out of thin air and scores a try that gets everyone out of their seat. And you don't get that with a lot of players. His communication's improving, his eyes up footy ability is improving, he's improving his nous, and yeah, I think as long as he stays, we'll be in a good position moving forward.
All right, Matty G, we're probably going to get in some draw talk now. I know you've got a bit of work to do on your potty, and you said you were just going to drop in for a quick 15 minutes. And since, we're an hour and 15 past, we're an hour past that 15 minutes mark now. So
one thing I want to just say about Buller as well is that I talked to him at the awards night. And if he was leaving the club, I will tell you this right now, it wouldn't be his decision.
Ooh.
So he made it very clear to the club already that he wants to stay, and that's his intention. And it was up to the club to come back to him either with a new deal or,
So you're blaming his wife. That's interesting.
Well, yeah,
I'm joking.
how funny.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I'm only joking.
Yeah. I think it was just, I think the club took it, did it, quite smart this time too. They took their time. They didn't jump the gun, and they've probably come up with a new deal. I'm thinking that's a little bit more price fair to where he's at, and fair to the club in terms of what they should be paying him. And everyone will
possibly
be happy.
One of those contracts where the value increases as the years go on, as he hopefully continues to reach that potential.
Definitely will. Definitely will.
Maybe some caveats.
Especially salary caps increase too.
All right, Matty G, give your stuff a plug. I hear you got a special guest. I don't know if how much you want to reveal, but you got you had Macca on recently on your podcast, and another good one coming up. So give it all a plug, man.
Yeah, well, I can't announce anything yet in terms of who's coming on next because nothing's completely locked in. But we do have the episode with Dragons content creator Julian Ali coming out tomorrow. So tomorrow 7 p.m. Check that out, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have a massive episode for you Tigers fans to end the year with.
Beautiful. All right,
exciting stuff. Speak Free Podcast.
Speak Free Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Anyone's looking for us on TikTok? We got kicked off TikTok for some reason. TikTok's not working anymore. No West Tigers Life on TikTok anymore. I don't know why. It wouldn't let us back on. So we'll just stick to Instagram.
Someone probably complained.
I don't know. It's something to do with copyright infringement. or something. I don't know.
Did you have video of the NRL itself of the footy?
No, I know not to do that. No, I basically was just our like post game stuff, clips of our podcast. It wasn't really, it was just us, just our ugly heads mostly. So too ugly for TikTok. We are. Not you, Matty G. Give Matty G a follow over there.
Yeah. I just did a little interview with Jerome at the launch the other day too. So check that out, guys.
Yep.
If you are.
That was very cool. All right.
I
Night,
watched that
Matty.
already.
Sweet as. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Hey, Matty.
Go the Tigers.
Thanks, Matty. See ya.
Otherwise,
Go
Tigers.
Tigers. All right.
And there were three.
Draw. The threesome is remaining. Righto. Let's get into where should we start? Let me just pick a random slide and we'll talk about it. Let me find the home ground game, our home games for this year.
You were just going
All right,
past
they are
it.
on the screen. Yep, no, I have got it. It's Have I got it? That's away games. Going good.
No, that was
tonight.
there. That was the homes. There they
Home games. All right, we got it. I got it. I can't see it on my computer screen, but I can see it on my other screen. So Campbelltown, as you want. Oh, now it's disappeared. As do you want to read our Campbelltown games? Can you read it on your screen?
Yep,
Or have you
I
got
can
the
read
draw? Have you got
it.
draw?
No, I've got it in
you
front
or
of me
something?
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just read it out. Read it out.
Campbelltown, round 6 against the Knights, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Round 7, Saturday against the Broncos at 7:30. Round 16 against the Dolphins on a Saturday, 3 p.m. Round 19, New Zealand Warriors on a Friday, 8 o'clock.
The positive there I see is at Campbelltown. Yeah, the positive I see just with Campbelltown there is, we've only got one Antarctic night, and that's in July against the Warriors. So, that's massive because, that's a
but it's a day game.
It's a day game.
Yeah.
So you're right. It can get cold out there during the day, but a night game at Campbelltown in winter, we're going to have to be absolutely flying to sell that out. And it's so cold. Even I get cold out there, and
Oh, the big hole.
and that's saying something. That's saying something.
In saying that, I've had this same opinion previous seasons, but since shout out to our Patreon legends, including you, Hoff. I've really enjoyed our Campbelltown night games because of you guys, because we met at the club before or after for a feed, bit of a slap on the pokes, bit of hang out in the TAB with like all the legends. Obviously, you can do that during the day. You can go to the club any time of the day, really. But just maybe because I like having dinner with you guys and just shooting the shit after a game. Hopefully, after some wins, when it really would like some wins next year. So hopefully that starts next round 6 against the Knights. We should have freaking beaten the Knights there this year. That's so annoying. As CommBank Stadium.
Yep. So they're back-to-back weeks in rounds 13. We've got the Bulldogs Saturday 5:30. Round 14, we've got the Panthers Sunday 2 o'clock. Then 2 more late season appearances. Parramatta Eels in round 22 on Sunday 4 o'clock, and the Dragons as well in round 24, also a Sunday 4 o'clock.
So a lot of people angry. Talking about a lot of angry people on the internet, all these segments tonight, but a lot of people complaining that all the big teams, obviously the Panthers, the Dogs, the Eels, and Dragons, are big Sydney derbies, and everyone's like, well, why don't we play them at Leichhardt Oval? Because we sell out. We'll get to Leichhardt next, but we don't. We can sell out Leichhardt Oval against anyone in the comp. So why not give Leichhardt the interstate teams and just pack the place? That Cowboys game, I know I'm talking about Leichhardt too early here, but that Cowboys game against Leichhardt was incredible atmosphere. Like, why would you want to sell it out and fill it up half with bloody Eels fans or Bulldogs fans? Make Leichhardt Oval. It's It's our day. Same with Campbelltown. The Knights, Broncos, Dolphins got a fair few this year, but yeah, it's predominantly our grounds, our people, and then Combank. Those days are the derbies. We'll play the Panthers again at Combank Stadium in an away game. We annoyingly play the Eels. The Eels sucks at Combank. I agree. We should play that. I wish we played that at a core, although they got their Easter this year. I wish we could play them our home game at a core. We can't for whatever reason. That does suck. I agree. And then the Dragons as well. Although we've got Dragons at Cogra, I believe, this year. But big derbies, big crowds. Those crowds, I would assume, what do they lock the gates at Leichhardt now? 16 and a half is the max crowd at Leichhardt now?
Oh, it was 15.
Like 18, I think. Did we get up to like 18 once recently?
What? Like this year?
Oh, since COVID, I feel like it's been less than 17.
Yeah, I thought it was 15 and a half.
Either way.
Yeah, maybe it's around that 15, 16.
Dogs, Panthers, Eels, and maybe Dragons get a good crowd even when they go shit. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe Tigers and Dragons will be in finals contention by round 24. Who knows? But they're more than 20K, easy, surely. On Sunday, what have we got? A Saturday evening against the Dogs. Yeah, plenty of security at that one, but that would be a big crowd. Obviously the Galvin rivalry. It was, come on, Tigers fans, please. That Bulldogs game at Combank, predominantly Bulldogs fans, but how good was it as? Watching them walk out the tail between their legs. Please, West Tigers fans, I know there are some people out there like Rob Bashara who don't go to Combank games, but please, come on, feel that. Back us up. Come join us and give it to the Dogs fans because that's going to be huge. Let's at least have 50% of our home game Tigers fans there. Panthers, we should dominate that crowd. Panthers, like they've got a lot of bandwagon fans over the years. We still should have a bigger crowd there. Eels, obviously it's Parramatta, so I know it sucks, like I said, but come on, let's try and fill the seats, predominantly Tigers and Dragons. That should be good too. So for
the Panthers' first year at Combank, they showed up fairly well for their home games. I didn't really pay attention to how much they showed up there for the away games, but I don't think they were all that well represented. Obviously, I was there for our home game against them, and I don't think there were that many Panthers fans there. Not that I could see anyway. I don't. That little cluster in the away bay.
Even some of their finals games at a core, they're like. The Panthers weren't. It was almost like they were sick of watching their team play in the finals. It's or
they just wanted to see them play it in Penrith.
Yeah, they're just not a big fan base. Like they've grown a lot, but I don't care what their annoying fans on Twitter say. They're still nowhere near as big a fan base as us. So, right, Leichhardt Oval as.
All right, so Leichhardt Oval, we have first of all the trial game there, which is part of our deal. There's a double header again in February. The Warriors playing the Dolphins and us playing the Panthers. Then in round 2, we've got the Cowboys there, Saturday, 3:00. Round 8, we have the Raiders there, Thursday, 7:50. And round 15, the Gold Coast Titans come back on Sunday, 4:00.
Hoff, the great man Meatloaf once said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but a night game on a Thursday night at Leichhardt, come on.
The only plus there I can say, it's madness. Like that's look. If we're winning, we'll sell that out as well.
Yeah,
I'm confident. Or go close. It'll be packed. Yep, it's annoying. But look, the one positive out of that is we're playing Canberra, and we usually play Canberra at home. At Campbelltown, and and they have a lot of fans come up from Campbelltown because it's only an hour and a half down the road. So I'm actually, if we're going to play a Thursday night game at Leichhardt, I'm glad it's against Canberra because Canberra fans won't be there. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
They always get
many of them.
They always get a good crowd. They always get a good crowd at Campbelltown because the Raiders, just think it's just up the road, which it is.
Actually, that's Anzac round, isn't it? As
it is, right? Yeah. So we're the opening game of Anzac round.
So playing against the nation's capital. Is there a public? What is the public holiday for Anzac? Because Anzac Day, if it falls on a weekend,
it's the day after. So the public holiday will be the Monday.
No, that's not how they do public holidays.
Anzac Day's on the Saturday.
Yeah, we
so
don't get a public holiday.
we don't get a public holiday. No.
No, yeah, when Anzac Day
Okay.
falls on a weekend, we don't get a long weekend or like a weekday off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I know it's obviously it's a day of mourning, not a day of celebration,
celebration.
etc. But it's just it's just to sidetrack a little bit, like Melburnians, like I would never move to Melbourne. It's too cold and there's too many Victorians there. But like, man, they get so many public holidays. It's so good. Like they get Melbourne Cup off, they get the Friday before grand final, plus all the other ones that we get up here. Like it just sucks. We lose another public holiday. But anyway, Anzac Day on a Saturday, so that means the year after it'll be Sunday as well. So 2 years in a row, we won't get a day off work for Anzac Day. But oh well. It is what it is. They should give us a Friday. That would have been good if it was a Friday long weekend like our game. But it's not. That round 2, it's not far from your birthday. When's your birthday? Not far from then, is it?
The Sunday of round 1.
So the week before. Okay.
Yeah.
It's missed.
The only other thing, sorry, go.
I was just going to say, Az gets he could have had a game on his birthday, but
we spoke about that today. As
maybe that's why.
Really bloody hoping we would.
The club gave you the weekend off. That's what they did for your birthday.
Yeah, so I don't stress out on my birthday. That's the plan, is it?
Sorry, Hoff.
I was just saying that the only other probably negative about the draw we've got is I would have liked to have played at least one or two of the hot sides early on. Playing when they haven't gelled enough. We usually jag a win or two. Over the past couple of years, we've jagged a win against, one of the favorites, one of the hot sides, because it's only been round 2 we've played them, or we've jagged that win. So, I can see us winning 6 out of our first 8 if we turn up. And we're going to nearly have to go. It's a shit end to the year. We're going to have to, be firmly entrenched in that top 8 by round 8, I think. To give us a chance to make the semis.
Yeah, and maybe a coach under pressure if we're not doing that well. As I don't have a slide for it, but I'm sure you've got it there. Who are our Origin round matchups? One of them's a bye, so who are the other two? Apparently, they're not much chop.
They're not. No, they're not.
So our bye, the major bye rounds where there's 7 teams on a bye. We've gotten that fairly friendly. So that's round 12 where we have our second bye. Round 15, we have the Titans at Leichhardt. And round 18, we have the Dragons at Cogra. So those are the rounds with no Origin players.
Well, obviously, the Titans won't have David Fafita anymore, although he wasn't playing. So maybe no Tino. Probably no Tino, yeah. So, well, and who...
Dragons, no... what's his name? Val Holmes.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's not good for Stafford Tower, but yeah, no Tino for the Titans. That's not too bad, I guess. Would be better to get the Panthers. Although I'm kind of glad that we didn't get the Panthers. We kind of want that matchup, I guess, for entertainment. But yeah, no Tino. But who realistically for us, is it really only Jerome that's a chance? I don't think Appy. I think Appy's Origin career is done.
I think.
And if Moses
Terrell probably gets
Terrell
gets a shot.
Yeah, but probably I don't know. Maybe depends on what Laurie wants to do, I guess. But yeah, Terrell.
He might have no choice if the NRL loses Payne Haas.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point.
That's a good point. Maybe we'll lose Terrell, but if Moses is fit, you would say he gets the nod. Moses and Cleary. Jerome probably doesn't get the Origin spot next year, so which is fine with me. Like I selfishly would prefer our players playing for us. He can play game 1 and then game 2 and 3. We need him. So good at the bye.
Game
for
1's the
round
one in Sydney as well. So
Oh, yeah,
travel
there we go.
involved in that one.
All right, play Jerome game 1, and then Moses is fit to play 2 and 3. Oh, there we go. Although that wouldn't mean we lost game 1 probably, but
So I will add as well, the other part of the Origin period is the games where players back up. So for that, we have round 13, which is the Bulldogs at home 3 days after game 1. Round 16, the Dolphins at home 3 days after game 2. And round 19, the Warriors at home 2 days after game 3, which is the one at Suncorp.
all right, let's talk about, so I've got the away games there, but let's talk about the teams that we play twice. So the teams that we play twice are the Cowboys, the Knights, the Raiders, the Dogs, the Eels, the Wars, the Dragons, and the Panthers. Hoff, do
Could
you
be a
think?
lot worse. Could be
Yeah,
a lot
there's
worse. That I'm
a
happy with
couple.
that.
Yeah, we didn't get the premiers in the Broncos. We don't have to play in. We don't play at Brisbane next year, which is
Yeah.
good. Cowboys is always fun. It's a fun trip to Townsville, apart from 2 years ago,
Yeah.
or 2 seasons
We're
ago.
due for a win at Amy Park, so you can tick that off as a win.
Newcastle, we won at Newcastle this year, didn't we? We've been good at Newcastle recent years. Canberra sucks. That's not fun. No one likes going to Canberra. The doggies, Eels, Dragons, Panthers. I really like. I think they're our biggest rivals, and to play them twice is a must this year. So as good,
Especially with the rivalries of the signings, obviously.
Yeah,
Galvin to Dogs to Silver to Eels.
Can you imagine the crowd it's at a core, right? Their home ground, their home game.
The Dogs,
against us, yeah. Can you imagine if we're in the 8 and the Doggies are flying? Can you imagine the crowd at that game at a core?
Be 2005-esque.
It's a Saturday night as well, so I think you'd get a pretty decent crowd. I think for a Saturday night, it's the late game on the Saturday.
Yeah, it's not kid friendly. I know this because
that's horrible.
My son's best mate is a Doggies fan, so I can't take the young bloke to.
Could probably still get 30K, maybe.
I reckon more.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
a lot of kids. I mean, it's a Saturday night. I guess there's no school the next day, but
weather permitting and that. But yeah,
for sure. If it's not raining, I think that could be. But like you said, if both teams are flying,
it could be a very chilly night.
Is it 13 or 20? Which is the home game?
13 is our home game. 13 is our home game.
Chilly.
So 20 is.
I don't think people will put off. At the end of the day, we live in Sydney, not Tasmania. It's not that cold in the middle of winter.
Yeah, it's not Canberra. It's also not Campbelltown.
Or Canberra. Yeah.
I
I complain, but I mean the middle of winter in inner Western Sydney is not too bad. And I think if both teams are flying, and the thing about crowds is the Bulldogs crowds. I wonder if they'll do $10 tickets actually as well. When you hear there's going to be a big crowd, does that not make you want to more go to be part of the crowd? Like I feel like crowds create crowds, and knowing that the Dogs are going to have a big crowd, and if they hear Tigers fans they're flying high, and then you got a mate that goes for the Dogs, and you're like, let's all go. Like I reckon it's going to be 30. If we're both flying, I reckon it'll be a 40,000 crowd.
And yeah, like round 20 by then, you definitely know how teams are playing. So, and there could be a lot of spice in it after what happens in our round 13 game. So, because it being the return fixture at the biggest stadium, I think is even better, because if there's something spicy or there's drama at our home game, then their home game, bigger stadium, bigger crowd, higher stakes, potentially even.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think a core stadium is pretty easy to get to for most West Tigers fans, like wherever you live, Campbelltown, Inner West. I mean, up the coast,
very central,
out west.
Very central.
It's the center of Sydney. So I mean, so is Combank, I guess. But the Eels, the Wars is an interesting one. So I feel like we go to New Zealand every year. We've never had a week off.
Most
from New
years,
Zealand,
yeah.
apart from COVID.
Always we go there.
I think New Zealand is round 4, isn't it? The first.
That's their home game. Yep.
Yeah, so a trip to New Zealand pretty quickly. I mean, we've got a lot of Kiwis. Benji's a Kiwi. Maybe it's a good thing. They'll
It's
enjoy
going to be
that
a good
trip.
time to get them too early in the season because they're still going to be without Metcalf while he recovers from his ACL. So if
Mm.
there's a time you want to get the Wars, it's early in the season because I think once he comes back, they'll come good again, similar to how the Roosters went this year.
Dragons always fun. It's only 6 weeks apart. I feel like
We haven't played the Dragons twice in the season for a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while because obviously, shouts friend of the show, Jay Benz. We like to go to those games over the years since 2010. Yeah, but we've got them at Cogra, I believe, isn't it, this year?
Yep. I have 100% success rate watching them at Cogra, touch wood.
Yeah, I'm the only. This is the second Tim Moulton mention of the night on the show. I went to the game the year that he reneged on signing with them. I think it was 2012, and he had a shocker. He didn't play very well, and we got carved up at Cogra. That's the only time I've been to Cogra. But
I think it was 2018 was the year I went there to watch us play them. They were flying.
Any-
They were flying at that particular point of that season.
any Cogra memories, Hoff, the Sizzler or the Leagues Club or something?
Only the Great Skull. You know, everyone remembers Skull. For the older fans here, he's just a crazy St. George supporter that ran amok and was banned from every ground. You know, you name it, he did it at the ground. But he's a character, you know, like Laurie Nichols, like these other, you know, mad fans. But yeah, look, last time I was at Cogra, we won. I forget the year. But yeah, it's a great ground. Any old ground, any original ground's great. So yeah,
It's a boutique little ground.
Yeah.
It's a bit too open.
And I think that game in 2018, I think that was actually the last time we played them there because most of our away games against them have been Wynn Stadium in recent years.
Yeah. That's a cold ground to go to when the wind's blowing.
Well, yeah, on the water there.
Yeah, freezing.
All right, what have I missed? What have I got left? Playing twice. I got the what we've pretty much talked about the away games when we're talking about
We talked about most of them.
So what's our last three? They're really hard.
All three away. All three away. Yeah, not great.
Who's that against?
So the Roosters in round 25, the Cowboys in round 26, and the Panthers in round 27.
Yeah, that's rough.
Considering you normally have at least one home game in your last three. Yeah, we've been absolutely dudded in that particular department. There are some things about this draw that make me very angry, very frustrated.
Yeah,
but it's AI. It's AI.
Yeah, I know. It's part of my gripe.
Yeah, it's just imperative we bank points early this next year.
Well, we're banking points in round one at the very least.
Yeah, true.
But don't get me started on that unless you really want to get me started on that.
I saw people say that. Like, it's so pointless. Like, the buy, whether you get points or not for the buy, it's just it doesn't, like, and everyone's like, oh, at least they'll start the season. Like, it's so shit. It sucks getting the buy straight up.
We were screaming for a buy this year. You know, we really, you know, Terrell was running on fumes. God, we needed that buy towards that end of the year.
And we got 2 in 4 weeks. And now we have a season again for the second time in 3 years where we're only going to have 2 buys throughout the season, while all other teams have 3. And teams like the Panthers and Broncos have been absolutely kissed on the private part. And they've been given all 3 buys during the origin period from around that round 12 to 20 period. So
really?
Teams that are going to lose a lot of players to origin. Yeah, teams that are going to lose a lot of players to origin like those two, absolutely loved on by AI, given 3 buys, 6 easy points during the period where they're not going to have those players playing as much anyway.
Is that good though? Because that means that they're going to have really long gaps between first buy and like the finals and their last buy.
That's the only long gap. But basically, there's 11 rounds before the first of the major buy rounds. So that means there are 6 teams that by the end of round 11 will not have had a buy. I don't remember who the last team to have their first bye is.
Mm.
This next year, I think this year it might have been the Raiders who played something like 15 games before they had their first bye. But yeah, I mean, there are at least 6 teams that are playing 11 straight.
Before we talk about the time slots, just friend of the show, Joey Alafacci says we're playing South at my old stomping ground, my place of my birth, Gosford, round 3, which will be good. My brother lives around the corner from that stadium, so should be a good one but it's a week before my birthday. Maybe that can be a birthday present.
That's not a bad ground to watch footy at.
I haven't been yet, but I hope I get to go to that game next year. I'd like to.
Does anyone know what the stadium's called currently?
Polytech Stadium.
Of course, Statsman knows it.
Central Coast Stadium. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been Blue Tongue Stadium, North Power Stadium, Central Coast Express Advocate Stadium. What was another one recently? It's had more bloody.
It should have been the Central Coast Bears Stadium. That's what it should have been.
Yeah, it should have been. Or the Central Coast really would have embraced the Bears.
100% would have been huge.
I don't know if I've ever told. I probably mentioned it on an episode before, but I was telling a story to a friend today who did go for the Bears. How Gary Larson coached our school team because of the Bears.
Oh yeah.
Have I told this story on the show? So yeah, because I was in year 6 in '99, and obviously the Bears was supposed to be coming in 2000, and so Gary Larson put his kids in at our school, and our school team, he got to coach us, so which was pretty cool. Really nice fella. But then obviously it ended up being the Northern Eagles and the Central Coast are like, we're not going for Manly.
That's not exactly.
Yeah.
That was their argument. Well, the Central Coast didn't embrace the Northern Eagles. But it wasn't their side. You know what I mean? That was the worst ever. That.
Yeah. No, the Central Coast Bears would have worked. And it annoyed me when the Titans came in. And look at that. What are the Titans done? Imagine if we got the Central Coast Bears instead.
Yeah.
And I know people
Singo couldn't have done anything more. He practically was willing to bankroll the whole thing. That's one of the biggest mysteries.
And I know people say, "Oh, we already have too many Sydney. New South Wales teams." But you would have had the population up there is like 400,000 now, and people are like, "Well, you've got the Knights." Well, the Central Coast isn't Newcastle. Like Gosford's as close to Sydney. I think it's closer to Sydney than it is Newcastle. Like,
and it's a huge rugby league heartland.
It is.
Yeah, it's huge rugby league.
How many juniors come from the coast? So it really annoys me. I really wish the Central Coast had a team, and just use the stadium for soccer and occasionally a rugby league.
Yeah, agreed.
It's, annoying. I think I've had that rant on the show about 17 times, but one thing that does make me happy.
Josh, one game we haven't talked about yet that I want to get your opinion on. Magic Round.
Yes.
So I know you're a fan of us not playing the Sydney teams at Magic Round because you want to save those bigger rivalries for.
Don't ruin
in Sydney. How do you feel about us playing Manly there?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I couldn't give a stuff about Manly, so let's play them at Magic Round. And I've bought my flights. I bought my flights. I'm going this year. I need to keep. When are tickets on sale? I really need to find that out. I bought flights. I need to get tickets.
I'll keep you posted if I see anything.
Just go back a sec, Josh. What you say? So you'd prefer to play a Queensland side or an out of town side up there than a Sydney club?
Manly's fine. Manly or even Sharks would be fine. But I want to play the Dogs, the Eels, the Dragons, the Rabbits. Who am I missing? Dogs, Dragons, Rabbits. Those rivals, those close teams, big crowds. It's a waste to play them at Magic Round because, we talked about it when we were talking about those teams before. We'll feel like a Core and Combank Stadium will be massive crowds without having to play 7 other games there. So the Magic Round, I think they have done well to kind of don't do Queensland derbies, don't do Sydney derbies. Everyone kind of play a fluffy sort of game because it's going to sell out anyway. So just put like same with Vegas too. What's the Vegas matchups next year?
So it's Dragons, Dogs, and
See, Dragons, Dogs.
Cowboys, Knights.
So it should have been should have been Cowboys, Dogs, Para. I can't remember the fourth team you said. The two Sydney teams playing each other, Dogs, Dragons. It's a Sydney derby. Why would you take that to Vegas? Split them across the other way. Why did they do that? Like, I don't understand why. Like, the NRL really needs to, and they have. This is the only slip up really in the draw of this. But the Sydney derbies, like, I know that the whole thing about the NRL at the moment is we're trying to go to Perth and we're trying to go to Papua New Guinea and maybe another New Zealand team or whatever. But these Sydney derbies are the freaking, like, they're the games that you're going to go to because you have mates. Like, we've probably all got mates that go for the Dogs, that go for the Dragons, go for the Eels, whatever. And you get your mate and you go to and it becomes massive atmosphere games. Like, it's just
how pumped would you be? How pumped would you be down? Las Vegas Titans versus Cowboys. I mean, money talks, and that's probably why they get these big sides.
Are Titans playing Cowboys? Is that actually happening? Or did you make that up?
I just made that up.
Okay.
Are they Titans? No.
Who cares who the Titans are playing? Really? Like,
but I think that's why they get these blockbusters for Las Vegas because it's just a better sell to everyone.
But is it more people? Americans
more? I just think. Well, I don't look. You get a lot of these tours now from Australia. It seems like every ex-football player is running a Vegas tour.
But Dogs and Dragons. If Dogs and Dragons were playing one of the other two teams, they wouldn't. Yeah. It wouldn't have changed their minds on to go. Surely it wouldn't have. Who you're playing against? If the Tigers get chosen against anyone, you couldn't tell me an opponent that will make me want to go more or less. Like I just want to see my team playing Vegas. I don't think the matchup. I think it's a ruin of the Sydney Derby.
It is, but again, money talks, and if you're talking about viewers, you're going to get more people tuning in.
TV viewers, maybe
you can get more people tuning into a blockbuster than a Titans v Newcastle or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
I remember you saying earlier this year, Josh, that you wanted to see, you were really hyped to potentially see a Bulldogs Dragons semi-final at a core if the Dragons ended up making the finals this year, just because we were driving to one of our games together and we were talking about it, and you said you'd think there'd be a crowd of like 70,000+ for even just a semi-final there.
The Dragons are huge. That's two huge fan bases,
and now it's a matchup that's happening in Vegas.
Did you, hey Josh? Did you have you booked your hotel, your accommodation?
My sister lives in Brisbane, so I'll stay with her.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, my dad's in Brisbane. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, Jesse was just saying how exorbitant the prices are, how they bump them up.
Yeah,
for Magic Round. I think he's saying here $1,000, 600.
As soon as the dates were announced, they pumped the prices for that week up.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
My brother's flying up. What my brother did, he booked accommodation he tried to guess when Magic Round was going to be, and he booked a week ahead, the weekend before. So it didn't work. I did that for the Grand Prix. I booked accommodation next to Albert Park for like cheap as like a couple $100 a night. And then the Grand Prix was announced because I heard a rumor that the Grand Prix was going to be announced. And literally our room went from being a $700 room to like a $4,000 room. But we'd already paid up. So the hotel can't just kick you out. So bit of it. Yeah, you got to, as soon as you hear, because accommodation, you can book accommodation with free cancellation. So maybe you can just book.
Yeah.
So just book it and then cancel if it's wrong.
Nah, see, we did that for the State of Origin a couple of years ago. I did the same thing. I guessed the week,
Yeah.
and
You nail it?
but they I nailed it, but they still bumped the price. So we got out of that room and we got a cheaper one somewhere else. But
Oh,
so
they put the price.
we didn't pay for it though, because
Oh, you
it
didn't
was like
prepay.
booking.com or whatever it was, where you book it, and then all of a sudden we got an email saying, because of events, we got hammered. So
we must have
I don't
paid
know
a
which
deposit or something.
agency it was, but
We must have paid a
you can be
deposit
lucky.
or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the draw. One last rant. A lot of daytime footy next year. So we have 9 Sunday Arvos, 3 Saturday Arvos. So would you count 5:30 is not really an Arvo, it's kind of getting into the evening. So what's
Evening,
that? 3
yeah.
plus 2. We've got 12 out of 24 games in an Arvo.
Yeah.
Sunshine football. Does that suit the West Tigers as?
100%.
Except for the one in Melbourne. Yeah, it does 100% because it suits it suits the Storm better.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to play them at any time, I guess. What do you reckon, Hoff?
Yeah, I like it. I love daytime football. Heaps better.
And how fun were our Arvos at the pub this year at the Orange Grove Hotel? That was great fun.
Also, I will say our away trip to Canberra is one of the Saturday Arvo games, so the 3 o'clocks. So while it'll still be cold, it won't be nighttime level cold. So that's somewhat of a positive for that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Canberra's good. You can do that. When I went and watched us play in Canberra, you can drive there and drive back. I did that.
The new bypass
the 3 o'clock time
minutes.
slot works for that because you're probably back by like 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on how long it actually takes you to get out of Canberra.
If you don't have kids, who cares? Just do it. Just do it. I say
it's also late.
Make a weekend of it. Make a weekend of it. Go see Farlap's Heart. Heart in the House. See everything.
Questacon.
The Mint. Yeah. Questacon.
The gravity slide at Questacon. I'd love to go back and see that again.
Yeah,
I'll get it hard again.
99, I went there for school
An
excursion.
earthquake room or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I last went there for school in 2005. Yeah, 5 or 6, one or the other.
All right, that might. We did it. We made an episode.
Yeah,
we got it out there. Whoop, I'm way too big there. How do I get myself back to normal size?
I do have one more rant about the draw, if you can let me.
No, go for it.
Double headers between our NRL and NRL women's sides. We have one.
Oh, yes. Go NRLW. Yeah, go NRLW. Sorry, of course.
Yeah, so to summarise our NRLW draw, we start the season with 3 away games to the Eels, Cowboys, and Broncos. We have this other grand finalists back-to-back at home at Leichhardt in the Roosters. The magic round this year for the NRLW is heading to Wagga Wagga, and we've got the Sharks there. We then eventually finish the season with 3 consecutive home games against the Bulldogs and Titans back-to-back at Campbelltown and the Raiders at Leichhardt. But our only doubleheader is our round 7 game against the Warriors, which is CommBank Sunday afternoon that weekend, just before we play the Dragons at CommBank that weekend as well. And the other thing that really pissed me off about the NRLW draw, we have our final round NRL game and our penultimate round NRLW game, same day, 2 different grounds, basically one after another, which is an absolute fucking joke.
Both home games?
No. So round 10, we've got the Titans at home at Campbelltown, Sunday 1:45. Then this same afternoon, Panthers away at CommBank, Sunday 4 o'clock. There is no physical way to get from Campbelltown after the game to CommBank on time, which is an absolute stupid decision by whoever. Like, AI can make a draw all well and good, but surely there's someone with half a brain at NRL HQ who should be able to pick up on shit like that and stop that from happening. How that happens is beyond a joke to me.
Hoff, I know you're a big fan of the NRLW. Would you prefer? I quite like that the AFLW their season's on, like, just finished, or is it on at the moment? I think.
They're in
I
finals.
couldn't
They've
tell
got
you.
2 weeks left.
Yeah. Would it be better if the girls just played? Like, I know that they play their grand final the same day, but I feel like it'd be better. I quite like the AFLW. Like, if the NRLW Tigers girls were playing now, and the NRL male Tigers weren't playing, I feel like more people would go and watch them play because, like as said, they're
Yeah.
playing at the same time. Apart from the family and friends of the players, they're going to go watch the men play. But
Yeah.
if the Tigers girls were playing the last several weekends, I probably would have went to every game. Like it, but just it's too like
Yeah.
when they're on the same weekend, like people can't like prioritize. A lot of people can't prioritize going to 2 games.
I'm not
Why?
a massive fan, but of NRLW, but it's madness that we're not getting either the Magpies or the NRLW before a first grade game. Again, I mentioned it last year. The price, or this year, the price of tickets, only getting 1 game. Surely they can, combine the NRLW towards the end of the year. So,
Yeah.
every team at best can get a couple of games to watch the NRLW before.
I don't think the Magpies want to do that, Hoff. I think they
Yeah, I
really
know.
wanna play
They
at
want to
Lidcombe.
stay at. Yeah, they do. They
Yeah,
want to stay at Lidcombe.
and
I think
Lidcombe's
there'll be
fun.
1
I
or
like
2
going to
games.
Lidcombe.
Yeah,
I like going to Lidcombe
yeah.
Oval.
I'm more talking about the NRLW side of it.
Yeah.
I understand
because
part of
it's
the
West
reason.
Tigers.
Yeah.
I understand part of the reason why they don't want to have the NRLW on later in the year, and you're seeing that a little bit nowadays with the AFLW. It's been stinking bloody hot on some of these days,
Even at night?
and it's already. I mean, there
cool
have been
tonight.
some pretty toasty nights where it's stayed above probably like 20, 25, 26 degrees.
It was
But
17
not every
degrees in Melbourne
NRLW
today.
game is at night.
Melbourne's
Not every.
still freezing. I got family in Melbourne. They were in bloody parkas today. It's freezing down there.
We had a day in Sydney a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, that the temperatures hit 38? Could you imagine having
Sydney
the
would be tough.
girls play? Considering the NRLW is a lot more Sydney because there's no
Yeah, of
storm.
course.
While there's pretty much every
I
other
guess
out-of-state
Queensland,
team.
you can't really play it in town. I mean, you can't really play in Townsville or Brisbane. I guess Brisbane would be, but you can play it 7:30 at night. It's not that.
Townsville's muggy and humid enough in the middle of the year as it is. It'd be a lot worse up
Yeah.
there if they were playing. If
Yeah,
they were
it'd be
trying to play
tough.
NRLW up there now, it'd be rough.
It'd be tough for the Cowboys, but I feel like Brisbane. What's the temp? What is Brisbane at the moment? At like
28 or something,
8:30.
26.
Yeah, I think that.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'd be fine, wouldn't they, to play in Brisbane in spring? It was 32.
Generally,
max
it
today.
would be because obviously the NRL play finals and the end of the NRLW season is around that time as well, like early spring being September.
Brisbane today was 32 degrees max, but it was 22 degrees by 7:30 at night. Like it's fine. Why can't the girls just play? And like
on
for
grand
TV
on
as
grand
well.
final day, the girls were playing in I think 32 or 33 degrees, and that was just the start of October.
Yeah, I'm saying they can play at night.
Heat up a lot earlier now.
Why can't we have the girls? Why can't we have November Friday night footy, the NRLW? I'd watch it.
You've still got like 6 games to put in there, so you'd have to have some day games.
I think the NRLW. I think the NRL just have to get as many NRLW games on before the first grade games, the men's.
Yeah,
I think that's the better way to do it.
I
feel like
100%.
they're hidden.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think they're hidden.
What do you mean?
Everyone's too busy concentrating on the men's games. If the women's season was by itself outside the men's season, I feel like
no. Well, hold on, but there's not
more.
as many. There's not as many rounds, is there, in the NRLW?
Yeah,
Was
11.
it 8, 11.
There's 11. So so it starts later in the year anyway. But what I'm saying is, like how many NRLW games this year were on before the main game, the men's game?
There were
You know, at
actually a fair
grounds.
few.
Was
There
there?
were a fair few. I can't remember
How many did
all
West
of them
Tigers
offhand.
have? I know West
I
Tigers
think
had
we
their game
had-
afterwards at Leichhardt.
Yeah, so that was the Leichhardt doubleheader against the Cowboys. I think we had 3 where the girls played before
Okay.
the guys. I can remember off the top of my head, we had the Dragons at Allianz the day we played Manly.
Yep.
We had, I'm pretty sure, the Titans before we played them at Leichhardt.
Yep.
And I feel like there might have been one away game as
Okay.
well.
Maybe
How
that's
many-
the most they
something
can
better.
do, you know,
How
to
many
give everyone a fair
teams is
go.
it? How many teams is
12.
it? So you need 6 games. So you could do Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. That's 4 games. You could probably do a 5:30 Saturday and a maybe a 6 o'clock Friday or something. Like you could do the 4 nights in a row, or you could just like old school rugby league, just overlap games. I just feel like a lot of this year, the NRLW games were so early in the day that you kind of forget that. Like, I just feel like it being outside the season, like the AFLW, works better. I feel they're getting massive crowds at the AFLW for the girls because the AFL isn't on at the moment. Like,
What,
I'd
what
be
crowds would they
following the
get,
girls.
Josh? Like, say it was on after the season, like at the end of the season, you know, and they had their own
Probably not great at
11
first.
weeks, but you know, yeah, who's going? Like, and no disrespect, but you know,
I think
what would the average crowds be?
Well, as you went to a few of the Campbelltown girls' games this year, how many people were there?
I went to
at them?
both, yeah. I think 4,000 to 5,000.
No,
Maybe
surely not.
Maybe a
Nah,
little
come
less,
on.
3,000.
It looked empty. Yeah, looked
Yeah,
pretty,
because
like,
most of the fans are on the like
behind
the
the
media
cameras,
broadcast
under the
side.
camera.
Yeah, I get that.
And
But
that's the
still-
same at pretty much all the grounds. The
Yeah,
ones that bother me is where they have the double header, but the girls are on after the guys, and that's usually the Sunday 4 o'clock game. You can see how it doesn't work, because the perfect example for me this year was the Knights girls had a home game after the Knights guys had that heartbreaking last second loss to the Warriors. And
Mhm.
you see the stadium and the seats between the 2 games, and night and day, there were hardly any fans that hung around for the girls
Mm.
after watching the men's team lose
Yeah,
in such
sorry,
heartbreaking
girls.
fashion. And then we also had, like I said, like Hoff mentioned, that that doubleheader against the Cowboys where the girls played after the guys, and the hill was threadbare by
Yeah.
by the time
why did
that
they
game
do
started.
that? That would have to be one of the worst decisions in rugby league history.
Because they're idiots, but it's also because Channel 9 have a deal currently to broadcast every NRLW game, so they have to fit them around the broadcast for the games they already do.
So
And it
wouldn't
also
Channel
depends
Okay.
what
9?
part of the season it is.
So was
Wouldn't
that game
Channel
on
9
Channel 9, was it?
Every single NRLW game this season was on Channel 9 or Gem or
Wouldn't Channel
whatever
9 prefer
other
to have
spare channels they
the
have.
girls playing this Friday night? Like the cricket doesn't. The test or the
You'd
cricket
think
starts.
so.
The cricket's during the day anyway, but the Big Bash doesn't start for another. Like if you can fit the
Channel
girls'
7 have Big
season
Bash anyway.
before the. Well, it's still. I was just saying, it's competing. People like
Yeah.
people. There's nothing to watch at night at the moment. There's this whole gap of we've got a lot of
Big
day
Brother,
stuff.
mate.
We've got exactly. You're watching Big Brother. You could be watching the girls. You're watching the NRLW girls. But,
I'd
like
watch
we've got the
Big
Melbourne
Brother.
Cup, Bathurst, like a lot of day sport. But our
Yeah.
Friday nights, we've got nothing. Got no sport to watch. The girls could have their own. The Origin, the girls' Origin game now is a great like standalone product
That's
on its
huge.
own night.
Yeah, it
And
is.
they don't need
A great
I think that-
advertisement for the women's sport as a whole as well.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
think the sport could grow to the point where, like AFLW, where why can't we have October, November? Like you could probably do half. Like half the season goes through like the back end of the season into the semi, and then have the even the semi-finals. Like have the semi-finals in October, maybe into grand final, a standalone grand final at Combank. You probably You're probably selling out Combank for an NRLW Grand Final. Do you reckon?
I'd say maybe not selling it out, but you'd probably like
Probably sell out
Combank.
Leichhardt. You probably sell
I
out
reckon
Leichhardt.
Combank, I reckon you'd get maybe 20K at most for a grand final if it was two well-supported teams, especially if it was two Sydney teams. I'm not sure if,
Yeah.
like, say we had say next year they did that and we had a repeat of this year's grand final, Roosters Broncos. I think a decent chunk of Roosters fans might show up, but I doubt too many Broncos fans would travel. So I think it would depend on. It'd depend on the ground. It'd depend on the competing teams, but I think you'd probably still get a decent crowd.
10,000, maybe?
Yeah, 10. You should be able to get 10.
That's still good.
Easy.
That's still a good crowd. Like I think they should.
There'd be a lot less empty seats for that than there have been now. Especially when you've got the women's game after the men's and most of the fans have just gone home.
And the gap between they play before the grand final on grand final day, but there's a gap. There's like music and like they're an hour and a half before kickoff, so no one's really paying attention yet. Anyway, we'll talk. I gave you a couple of minutes to talk about NRLW. We've spent 20 minutes on it. Any final words, boys, before we head into Christmas?
We're just looking forward to next year. Bring on the trials. Bring on a very successful first half of the year because that's what we need.
Yeah, like I've looked at our draw. I've done all my analysis and stuff. Our first 5 games, there is a very good chance that we could win at least 3 of them. I'd say if we went 3 out of 5 in our first 5 games, I think our season's set up pretty well. And that's up to the boys if they're able to pull it off. But that would give the fan base a lot of hype, I think, and some very good crowds. Another thing, AI, get your shit together. Stop clumping games in home and away chunks so often. Like 5 home games in a row is an absolute joke as well. But yeah, bring on the season, bring on the trials. Hopefully some good news during the during the rest of the off season. Ari, Buller, and Jerome, and some other players, and some more potential signings to bolster our squad. And looking forward to going around all again.
Maybe an emergency podcast before now and February, but if it's all quiet on the Western front, probably or all quiet on the Western suburbs front, then I guess we probably won't talk till
trials
Christmas. Till back into the trials next year. Get the stream happening and work out what to do with that new program. Maybe do some test runs or something. But if not, safe, happy Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, safe Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate over the Merry Christmas and New Year. Go Broncos, go Nuggets, go Sydney Thunder.
Go the mighty Chicago Bears.
Go the Sixers who just recently beat the Sydney Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And the New York Rangers.
WBBL, yeah. All right. Love yous all. And as always,
all right, guys.
Go the West
Tigers.
Go the Tigers.
Thanks for listening to West Tigers Life Podcast. What a great show. Love that Rob Bichara. Check out all their episodes and content at westtigers.com.au. What great content. Watch Coach's Report with Otto live by joining patreon.com/WestsLife. What a great deal. Join their Discord as well. Wow, fantastic. Please grab that subscribe button by the